as we all know, the last couple of years, hot topic is protein, 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 and definitely it's right up there on what we look at and our priority of giving enough protein to support and promote appropriate growth. Now, estimating what we're giving them is exactly that. It's an estimation. We do not have absolute numbers. Again, mom's milk varies, and the numbers we use for a calculation are, again, an assumed value, not an actual value. And while you may be calculating 5 grams of protein per kilo, 4.8 grams of protein per kilo, in reality, they're probably not getting that. And so while the numbers on the paper might suggest that, they're probably not actually getting that. As far as I know, I could only come across one study, and it's actually an older study published in 1969 that looked at babies who got less than 2 grams of protein per kilo or greater than 6 grams of protein per kilo. Now, these were bigger term babies and primarily fed formula, and so it's a different population. And what they found was poor outcomes, poor growth outcomes, poor developmental outcomes in babies that got less than 2 grams of protein per kilo. And in the babies that greater than 6 grams of protein per kilo per day, they had poor tolerance, so lethargy, more emesis, higher serum ammonia levels, so that was ill-advised as well. And as far as I know, that's the only research that has looked at actually giving higher amounts of protein.
And I think it's important to realize that we don't have a lot of research in particular on that less than 750 gram birth weight group of infants. And you know, without that evidence, they could have much higher needs. We just don't know. Babies didn't always survive that were 500 grams or below before, and now that we have this group, they may have higher needs. We just don't know. It's probably best to look at what the baby is doing and are they growing. If they're not growing on what we're giving, then we need to be giving something else to help that growth. We know if a baby's not growing, we're not going to get the brain development that we want or the outcomes that we want later on. So the most important part is getting that growth where we want it to be.
I think there's other measures too that you can look at if a baby's not tolerating a high, what you think is a high level of protein. You can look at the blood work, you can look at the BUN, and like Stacia said, really follow growth. And if you're seeing, you know, growth and your numbers are reasonable, your BUN is reasonable, then I would feel pretty comfortable giving a protein value that I, on paper, think is 4.5 to even 5 grams per kilogram per day, as long as the baby was tolerating it from my physical assessment.
I agree with my colleagues on that, and also would add that when we talk about growth, in particular when we talk about protein, it's not just weight, but also head circumference and length.